Actually, I asked Mr. Wesberry how I was going to introduce him, and he said very short. I wanted to say a few things because some of the people in the audience may not know that we have a CPA for those who are studying to be accountants, and as CIA, Certified Internal Auditor. He is the Chief of Missions, Chief of Party of the USAID Management Systems International Philippines Integrity Project. He is a multi-awarded international anti-corruption expert and decorated by 2 governments, I think Mexico and Ecuador. And he has received USAID's 2nd highest employee award for his works in these countries. He also has received the highest awards of the Western Hemispheric Accountancy Profession and the World Internal Auditing Profession. Just to say that he has made integrity his mission, his passion. He is a crusader for a cause. And I believe that he has dedicated his life to be a consistent and powerful voice for anti-corruption reforms. What struck me when he spoke here in the first time in August of last year, he shared with us his experiences in the local government of the Georgia state and how I was so amused that it mirrored some of the experiences of the local government that I also saw here being an auditor myself. And instead of saying as an international expert that I'm holier than thou, I came here to help you, he said we are in this mess but we can fix it. So we have a real and dear friend who comes here all the time to give us leading thinkers in the fields of accountability and governance. Our former Georgia State Senator, Mr. James P. Wesberry, Jr.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be back with you at UE again for the 3rd time. And my mission is not to speak to you, but to bring another great speaker to you, like we had when we had Pablo Fumi speaking on forensic auditing. And but Dean De La Rua insisted that I say a few words, and I told him, well, I'll say a few words, but there'll be very few. And so I'm going to only talk about 2 things. Just since you already know me, if you've seen me 3 times, you're sick of knowing me. But let me tell you a little bit about the company I work for. The company I work for is contracted by USAID. It's called Management Systems International, MSI. It was founded in 1981. As a global professional development firm providing specialized short and long-term technical assistance across the world. We manage about 100 projects across the world. In 2008, we merged, or actually became a part of Coffee International Development, which is from Australia. And between the 2 firms now, we have over 1,400 employees in 11 countries, with approximately 200 projects across the world. So, and MSI has become known in the United States and the countries where it works as fighting corruption, and they find a reason. We just got a new brochure, which is what made me think of telling you a little bit about it. It's the first time that I know of they've ever had a brochure dedicated to fighting corruption, but we have, I and other people across the world. In fact, our speaker has worked, I think, with MSI when he was here before. What I thought I would do to fulfill my obligation to the Dean is to tell you a little bit about something that just came out yesterday. You're probably the first Filipinos to see this, unless you happen to open our website this morning or read it in the newspaper and then go to the website of Global Integrity. Global Integrity is an organization that does a number of things in the anti-corruption field, but the main thing they do is once a year they publish what they call the Global Integrity Report. The Global Integrity Report covers now, I forget how many, over 100 countries, and they don't always do every country every year. They use local people. It's not one of these things where they're using expatriates who do business in the country and obviously are upset with corruption. They use local people, usually local journalists and other people to do research and to gather information to compare corruption across the world and integrity in general. It's really broader than just corruption, as you're going to see. The 2010 Global Integrity Report came out yesterday, and I happened to get up early this morning as I was posting to our website, and it was one of the things I saw, and so I put it on our website. I hope you, if you have not seen our website, I hope you will take a look at it. It's www.integrity-ph.com, and I should have put it on the PowerPoints, but it didn't occur to me. This is what the Global Integrity Report says about the Philippines. The overall score has significantly decreased in the Philippines. Every year they have a score from 0 to 100 on a number of different categories, and they get a global score on the whole country, primarily driven by a widening implementation gap between its laws on the books and their actual implementation. The Philippines earned good scores on freedom of speech, procurement regulations, which seem to be implemented effectively, while anti-corruption legislation is strong. The Anti-Corruption Agency, and this was before the recent impeachment and resignation, the Anti-Corruption Agency does not have the ability to effectively deliver on its remit. Political financing is an area of weakness in the disclosure of political finance records, as well as enforcing conflicts of interest. Safety and safeguards are a particular concern. Even though the country's supreme audit institution, Kwok, is adequately resourced, citizens cannot access its reports, which bring into question its transparency and accountability function. The testimonies of recent whistleblowers reveal that there is a culture of omerta within the supreme audit institution, with whistleblowers risking ostracism or physical harm. And you know who and what that is talking about if you've been in the Philippines for the last 2 or 3 months and paying attention at all to what's going on. Political interference is rampant in the country's insufficiently funded law enforcement agency. Now let's see the result. Overall score for the Philippines, 57 out of 100. Dean, would that pass? Would a grade of 57 out of 100 be a passing grade? I don't think so. So, unfortunately, the Philippines failed, but they were diplomatic in global integrity. They call it very weak. Legal framework score, this is the interesting point they made in that first phrase. The legal framework is strong. We got a lot of laws. They're not all perfect, but the legal framework is very strong, but actual implementation of the law is 31, even lower than the overall, which is very weak. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs, public information in the media, I don't know if you can see that, I shouldn't use the black background. A grade of 53. They break this down. There are 3 subcategories under this. Anti-corruption NGOs, rate of only 59. Now that is pretty low. One of the major forces against corruption in the world is the public opinion and the civil sector, NGOs and citizens organizations, and that really is something to be concerned about. Media's ability to report on corruption, 58%. Now, that may not be the fault of the media all the time, but that also is low. Public requests for government information is even lower because the Freedom of Information Act has not yet been passed, 42.